5:30 now? Okay.
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes?
I have 5:31.
Well, what does my cell phone say? 5:31.
5:31.
Okay, all right. Then I guess we'll go ahead and call this is actually our regular July Board of Directors meeting to order. And this meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. We have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so next on the agenda is the administration of oath of office for new board members.
And in Jan's absence, she asked me if I would go ahead and do it. So you'll stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. Isaac Aiken,
Isaac Aiken,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
and will faithfully and honorably demean myself
and will faithfully and honorably demean myself
in the office of Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Director, Position 3,
yes, I do. In the office of Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Director, Position 3, 1-year term.
term expires 6/30/2023, to which I have been appointed to the best of my ability.
Term expires 6/30/2023, to which I have been appointed to the best of my ability.
And I'm going to probably butcher your last name.
Just give me a
You have to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, John McCullough,
I, John McCall,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I do swear, I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof,
and will faithfully and honorably demean myself
and faithfully and honorably demean myself
in the office of Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Director, Position
to
2,
in the office of Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Director, Position 2, 1-year term.
term expires 6/30/2023, to which I have been appointed to the best of my ability.
Term expires 6/30/2023, to which I have been appointed to and to the best of my ability.
Okay. Welcome to the board.
You gotta do roll call too.
And now can we have roll call?
Yes. Rita Eckerman,
Here?
Zach Aiken,
Here.
John McCullough,
Here.
Ray Woodruff,
Absent?
Kevin Battles is excused.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have election of officers for president, vice president, and secretary treasurer. Do we have any nominations?
I nominate Rita for president.
I second.
Nobody else wants to do it, huh? Hearing no other nominations, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. And now vice president. John, would you be interested?
What's it entail?
You have to chair the meeting when I'm not here.
I can do that.
Okay. Then I'll nominate John McCullough for vice president. So, no other nominations? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Now, I did ascertain that Mr. Battles would not turn down the office of Secretary-Treasurer. He didn't seem to be quite as hesitant about that as he was about the board president. So even though he is not here, I would like to nominate Kevin as the Secretary-Treasurer. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. So next on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes, and these are the minutes from the Board of Directors meeting of June 30th. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Are there any additions, corrections? Okay, then can I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed.
And just to interrupt you real quick, Rita, you two, the mics are sensitive, but not that sensitive. So try to,
Speak
because
up a
Jan,
little bit.
especially this time, because Jan's using them to do the minutes.
Yeah.
Can you hear
So,
me now?
she's on the line right now.
I'm making notes for her just in case.
And I'll probably try to fill in the blanks if I need to. Okay, so next we have citizen participation. And this is an opportunity for the citizens to address the board about any issues, ideas, observations. Well, doesn't look like anybody wants to. And we will be checking again at the end if anyone online has anything they want to say, or if you guys happen to think of something between now and the end of the meeting. Staff presentations.
Okay, so for June, we ran 3 fires, 7 EMS calls, 4 vehicle crashes, 2 water rescues, 9 lift assists, and 5 other assists for a total of 78 emergencies, or 72 emergencies. So far for July, we ran 3 fires, 20 EMS calls, 1 vehicle crash, haven't had any water rescues, haven't had any lift assists yet, and 1 other assist for a total of 25 calls so far in July. Annual total for us so far, 592 calls this year.
Wow.
The training, so total training hours for the year is at 1,309.3 hours collectively. I ran the report from May 16th to July 7th for 259 hours and 0.25 hours in that window of time. So, doing lots of training.
Yes.
All the apparatus is good to go right now. We've got some vehicle shuffles going around because in preparation for the Tidewater drywall, the station's going to be loaded this week at the end of the week. Insulation is going in as well, not as we speak, but it was just about an hour ago. I'm very itchy right now. I had Wendy put kind of a spreadsheet in the packet there for you. It basically is the start. This is everything from January, the fuel logs from January to end of June. It's 6 months worth. And what I'm starting to do is track the cost, basically cost per mile, the miles per gallon for each apparatus, so that we can kind of start to really break down how well the equipment's working for us. Like on Rescue 72 at the very back bottom of the second page, you'll see where the cost per mile is about $3.62. And that's because we just got it and we had to reinsert all the air system in it. So it's not actually miles that it's been driven. It basically sat on the apron and ran for almost 6 hours for several days, trying to refill all that system with good, clean air, because that's what we use to fill the SCBA bottles with, so. But this is the kind of leading up to, been putting in all the maintenance stuff and the cost for each part, right down to like I put the nut and washer for a wiper blade that had got fallen off someplace on engine 72s in there. So I'm really trying to break it down so we can really see how this apparatus works, and so that, you know, when we go to buy something, we can actually choose, well, this one, even though it's older, is still, you know, not costing us very much. Can we, you know, really look at it? So other than that, everything else seems to be going really good, maintenance-wise.
So the drywall for Tidewater is
It's being loaded this week.
very good.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
finishing all the installation, a little pickup work as far as sheet rock backing and that kind of stuff this week. And then he'll start Monday, Tuesday next week to start sanding it. Probably a couple weeks of him doing it, because it's just him and one other guy that's gonna hang all the drywall up there and mud and tape and texture it. So then it'll just be us painting it.
So once the drywall is done, we should probably think about an open house or something, right?
Yeah, in August is what, I was shooting for the end of July, but I'm gonna have to agree with Chief. It'll probably be August by the time I
Right.
can finish work done.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to do a big barbecue up there and show it off. I'm
Invite the
pretty proud of it.
Yeah. I think that would be a great idea.
So right now, for temporary, the engine is being temporarily stored at yachts in their fire station, main station. Our tender is just down the road at Public Works being stored by the city for us. So if we need to, we can go grab the tender. If we need to, we can still go grab the engine. But both of them are indoors, protected from the elements.
Which is
For
great.
the couple of weeks that it's gonna take to get that station back to where we can park the vehicle back inside again.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. We went through a state of having all our vehicles parked outside, and it did not do well for them.
No, I'm still fixing stuff from that.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have admin.
So first I'd like to welcome the new board members. I think you guys all got your instructions, were able to get into your emails okay and stuff. If you want to put them on laptops or phones or anything and need help, just let me know. I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff and make you feel overwhelmed for a second. So if you could sign those before you leave and leave them with me, or just leave them in your book. And what those are for is saying that you have received a copy of the policy, the SDAO handbook, this is the current budget, this is the last 5 years' budget, and this is the last year's worth of board meeting minutes, which can also all be found on our website as well. So, give you guys each.
And don't worry, we'll have the quiz at the next meeting.
Yes.
There's a test?
At the
Answer's
top,
always C.
at the top of this one, will you print your name? Because it didn't, I don't have a spot for the print, so just so I know, because I don't recognize everybody's signatures. Of course, we've been doing some updates to the website. I've slowed down a little bit on that just because we've had other things going on. But in June, we did have 14,546 page views to our website. We've been putting events and stuff like that on there, which people seem to like, and things like that. So for John and Zach, in the back of your book, you will have a form for the bank. You'll need to fill that out. Zach, you can give yours to me. John will need to take his actually into the bank with photo ID. And then once I have Ray's as well, the bank will give me the new signature cards for everybody to sign. And that'll add you guys on so that you can sign checks for me. So one of the other things that's recommended to give to new board members that we haven't done in the past is the Department of Justice, the Attorney General's public meeting and Records Handbook. It is 400 and some pages, so I only printed out one copy, and it is in a binder on the bookshelf in my office for anybody to view at any time. So that's where I keep all the public records documents and stuff, along with your board books, that if you put mail in at any time. This, a lot of this Rita already knows, so just kind of information for you guys. So normally our board meetings are on the third Thursday of the month. Any items you need added to the agenda, let me know the Friday before, because then I put the agenda and board packets, I email those out on the Monday. And then the only other thing I have is now that the rest of us, other than Charlie, are finally getting all our Class Bs, because they were on back order. I am going to be setting up my camera equipment finally, and everybody's getting new pictures, yes, including board members. So I'll let you know when I have that set up, and I'm just going to keep it set up so that people can just come in on their free time and actually get that taken, and that'll be for the website. And that is all I have this time.
Okay. We have a volunteer report.
I think Rick's not here. The only thing that really happened between last meeting and this meeting was the 4th of July, or 3rd of July hot dogs.
Yeah, we did the 3rd of July hot dog feed. It wasn't as busy. I think more because everything was happening down towards the interpretive center, so
Right.
nobody was really coming up to this side of town, but we still had fun and still sold some, so.
And then next Friday, we're having bingo night over at the community center. So it'll be hot dogs, nachos, popcorn. I'll be posting a link on the association's Facebook page in the next couple of days, not only with the flyer about it, but a pre-order if anybody wants to buy bingo cards ahead of time. So,
Our inaugural one.
yeah, it'll be
The
our
one,
first
the one to work out all the kinks.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, Brett, you're up.
At the end of June 30th, 2022, the district had $636,678 on hand, so looking good there. Levy funds for the general fund, we accrued $876,368. And we budgeted $831,141, so that's 5.44% above. Equipment levy also 5.44% above. We accrued $104,784, and we budgeted $99,376.
I think one of the reasons why the tax monies are up has to do in part with a lot of turnover as far as houses being sold and so on. And so some of those back taxes, which
Yeah.
normally, I think that was kind of surprising, I think this year especially, that we've gotten more revenue than we
Yeah.
had anticipated, so.
Yeah, well, the back money, the prior levy funds, $30,102 for the fiscal year. We only anticipated $15,800.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, people got caught up.
Yep,
But and I think also part of that is renovations too.
right,
Push up the
yeah.
amount that was collected. Personnel services, the end of the year at $625,157, and we budgeted $615,570. So we're over budget by 1.56%, 9,587, and that has to do with the two firemen we brought on. Legal services for the year, 9,262. So we're over budget, 1,262 on that. Let's see, vehicle repair is pretty high, $41,904 for the year. When we budgeted $20,000. And Engine ambulance equipment, 21,152 for the year, and we're over substantially by $15,387. We budgeted 5,766.
Yeah.
Some
part
of that was a carryover from the prior year.
Yeah, part of that was the carryover from the grant we got from the fire marshal's office the year before. And the equipment didn't come in until after the new
Right.
year, and so we didn't pay for the equipment until after it came in,
Right.
so, yeah.
But all in all, the material and services part of the budget is well under what we anticipated, mostly due to the AFG grant that we didn't expect funds for that. And I gave you a resolution to move
Yeah.
some numbers for the budget. That's all I've got, unless somebody has questions or any questions.
No? Okay. So can I hear a motion for approval of the financial report?
I move that we approve the financial report.
Second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the financials. All those in favor?
Aye.
And can I get a motion to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills. Motion to pay the bills.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to pay the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then under this, we also have the, we actually can probably take care of all three of these resolutions. Thank goodness I have a copy because I'm doing a lot of reading here for a minute. First resolution we have is Resolution 2022-03, a resolution authorizing bank account signer removals and additions. Whereas the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District has authoritative power to create and maintain checking accounts, equipment levy funds, reserve funds, etc. to maintain operation of the district. Now therefore be it resolved that the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District hereby authorizes the following bank account changes to the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District. Remove former district board members Raymond Buster Pankey, Catherine Menifee, and Todd Holt as account signers from Oregon Coast Bank checking account, operating account, Oregon Coast Bank public funds money market account, general, local government investment pool account, equipment reserve fund, and local government investment pool account, building/property reserve fund, and local government investment pool account, general public funds. Add new district board members Ray Woodruff, Zachary Aiken, and John McCulloch as account signers for Oregon Coast Bank checking account, operating account, and Oregon Coast Bank public funds money market account. Approved and adopted by the Board of Directors of the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District on this 12th day of July, 2022. Hear a motion to accept resolution 2203.
I move that we accept resolution 2203.
I suppose I should have asked, are there any questions? Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 2022-03. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Then we have resolution 2204, or 2022-04. Amending the budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. Whereas ORS 294.338, parens 2, provides for the expenditure of grants, gifts, or devices transferred to a municipal corporation and trust for specific purposes. Whereas ORS 294.463 provides for transfers of appropriations within a fund or from one fund to another. Therefore, the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Governing Board resolves that the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District budget appropriations for the fiscal year 2021-22 are hereby amended as follows. General fund requirement or expenditure, $8,400. Operating contingency, The amount is decreased by $10,000. Requirement or expenditure, line item 88010, or 10, gross payroll base wages, amount increased $10,000. To budget for increase in personnel services expenses in fiscal year 2021-22. District Governing Board at the Board of Directors meeting on July 2022. Adopted by the Board on the 12th day of July 2022. Do we have any questions? Okay. Can I hear a motion?
Should I make a motion for 2022-04?
Yeah, 04, yes.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And last but not least, Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Resolution 2022-05, amending the budget for fiscal year 2021-22. And whereas ORS 294.338 2 provides for the expenditure of grants, gifts, or devices transferred to a municipal corporation and trust for specific purposes, whereas ORS 294.4.463 provides for transfers of appropriations within a fund or from one fund to another. Therefore, the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Governing Board resolves that the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District budget appropriations for the fiscal year 2021-22 are hereby amended as follows. Requirement of expenditure, line item 9102, new station property, amount decreased $200,000. Requirement or expenditure, line item 9,000, work in progress, amount increased $200,000. This is to budget for the move of funds designated to be spent within the Building and Property Reserve Fund for fiscal year 2021-22. District Governing Board at the Board of Directors meeting on July 12th, 2022. Can I hear a motion?
I move that we accept resolution 2022-05.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 2022-05. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Work in progress.
It's the Tidewater,
Okay.
this station,
Okay, right,
some of the extra things that were done.
right, okay. Okay.
Renovations.
And so now we're at correspondence. Do we have any correspondence?
Not this time.
Okay, old business, acceptance of OSFM grant / resolution to add grant funds to budget.
Yep, so I handed out the agreement from OSFM last meeting, and then I typed up this report that is summarizing what we specifically as an agency are gonna do. That was in your board packets. It has the dual logos on the front. You guys all see that? Get a chance to read through it. So that is the plan. The job descriptions in here are pretty much the same as our regular job descriptions, except for these ones specifically state that these are temporary positions with limited duration. That's what legal told us to do last time we did temporaries. So at this point, the State Fire Marshal's office is just waiting for me to sign the agreement and get it back to them, so they'll cut us a check. And so I need the board's approval to accept the grant, and then we will, once we get the check, we'll draft up a resolution to add it into the budget so that we can spend those funds this fiscal year for those seasonal firefighters.
Well, I think it's a great
So
benefit.
I just have a couple of questions.
Sure.
About the grant agreement.
Mhm.
They're saying in their document that it expires on October 31st. We are showing in our documentation of going out to November 21st, and they have a November 15th as a reporting date on the grant.
Yep.
So I'm good with the grant and what we need to use it for. I'm just wanting to make sure that these
So-
dates aren't conflicting against each
Yeah, I'll verify with them but to my knowledge, only thing that I have to do to close out the grant is make sure that the final report's in by November 15th. And since we have them on schedule, running to the 20th, will be in the report, but it'll be turned in on time. But I'll confirm with them that there's no conflict there. I'll just call Stephanie at the fire marshal's office tomorrow and verify that. So if you guys are good with it, pending that there's no conflicts with the dates, if you guys are good with approving it, then at least I can get the agreement in tomorrow so that they can get the funding over to us.
I'll put a motion to accept to sign this off.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the grant, the 2022 Wildland grant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, then under new business, we have the acceptance of the abstract of votes from the June 7th, 2022 election. These are this is the official abstract with the final results of the votes for the special election. And it's basically just an acknowledgement that we have received the final count and that we are comfortable with it. So it's the first one and the second one. So it just requires a simple motion.
I move that we accept the results from the,
Yeah, it's the June 7th special election.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. SDAO training virtual option hosted at Station 72 with lunch provided.
Yeah, so all the admin staff is gonna go through the training as well. And so we're gonna do a virtual hosting here in the training room on, I believe it's the 31st.
August 31st.
August
Yeah.
31st.
And so if those of you who want to do the training in person, just let us know and we'll make sure to get you registered for the in-person date in Newport on the 30th. If you don't want to do it in person, then you can come here to the training room with us and go through the training with us. We will have camera and microphones set up so that you can interact with the instructor for any questions you have. We're basically doing a classroom Zoom, so to speak, here. And then, because it's an all-day class, we'll make sure lunch is brought in so that nobody has to leave and worry about a lunch break or anything.
Food's good.
Yeah,
What
and
day is it?
I mean, it's handy that we've got the one in Newport on the 30th, but I actually wouldn't mind attending the one on the 31st because, it involves staff as well as board members and so on,
Exactly.
which I think might be helpful,
Absolutely.
So it's
so.
available.
I think, I'd just as soon do the one on the 31st.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And we'll, find out what Kevin and Ray want to do, and if they want to do the one on the 30th.
Yeah.
We should let them know as soon as possible so they can schedule, so SDAO can schedule having them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we'll have the one on the 31st.
Yeah, I'm sure that the in-person one has a limited number of how many people
Slots,
can be
yeah,
there. So,
yeah.
yeah, whereas the virtual one, I don't think there's any limit because it's virtual, so.
Mm. What day of the week is the 31st?
Thursday, I think. It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, and then we discussed setting up a board workshop / goal-setting meeting.
So Kevin's gone till after the first week of August, so, and I did have a conversation with him this morning, and he is busy on all the weekends So a weekend option would be out. So I'm thinking a couple of different weeknights, maybe one in the middle of August and then another one in the beginning of September would be good. There's a lot of catch-up information to do, and then there's goal setting, and then also planning for talking with what are we gonna do moving forward, building-wise, and vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think that one night's gonna cover all of it. I'd like to try to get 2 nights put together, so I'm thinking the second week of August would be a good one, and then maybe the second week of September. And then that way it's a week before both of the board meetings, so if there's any decisions that come out of them, it's just a week later to get those decisions done. Because when you do workshops, it's all discussion and talk, there's no decision making. You're not
Right.
acting as a quorum board in those settings, so to speak. We don't have to set anything tonight, just so people can start looking at their schedules and let me know. We'll try to coordinate it, trying to coordinate.
Do you want everybody to email me kind of dates that they're available and I can kind of compare and
Yeah, go
give
work.
dates?
Oh, work, it works for you guys.
Yeah.
Sundays.
Figure in the evenings, probably 5:30 to whenever, and just try to set up a schedule for it, for topics.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll do the presentation that I did a while back on the district, and I'll try to revamp the timeline that I had before. It needs to be fixed now. We kind of lost a year, so to speak, so it needs to be fixed, but I can do that all between now and the second week of August. Shouldn't be a problem for me.
sounds good.
Yeah, so if you guys just want to email me some dates that you're available, then I can kind of see what everybody says and kind of help narrow it down. And then he can send out an email with dates for everybody to pick.
Yep. That might be the easiest way to try to coordinate it between 7 people, or 8 people, 9 people, however many.
I get less emails a day than you do.
So just think of goals that you'd like to see the district have for the, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. So you got short, mid, and long-term goals, so to speak. And I'll also come to the meeting with some suggestive goals too, so, just in case.
All right.
If we're ready to get back to this.
I think that was right.
Intermission.
Closed caption brought to you by.
Breaking the new guys to be louder.
Yeah,
They're so quiet.
yeah.
They'll get over the shyness. There is, on SDAO's website, they do have a bunch of other training videos that you can do. There's all different ones. Some of them we actually get discounts for, so you, when you go to do it, it's like the webinars, when you go to do it, it'll have you enter your email address, and so you do your district email, and then it'll actually give you a certificate. We get discounts on insurance for certain ones of those. I do the safety committee one because I'm a part of that, which gives us, all kinds of discounts and stuff. So any of those you want to do, it's, you can, just under trainings on their website, you'll find the list of all the different ones.
Sounds good.
Oh, SDO training?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
President's report.
Are we so have we done the new auditor proposal?
No.
Yeah, we were waiting for you.
For you.
Okay. Yeah, so don't jump ahead yet. I don't really have anything to report anyway, so. Other than Mr. Woodruff has a really good excuse for not being here tonight. So he is excused. Let's see, new auditor proposal.
So I reached out to about 5 different auditors to get proposals to switch our auditors for our yearly audit. And only one actually got back to me, which was kind of disappointing, but if you kind of read through and actually skip to this page 10, they're actually way less than what we are paying, even on year. So this is a 3-year proposal that they're giving us. There's, you know, for basically doing the audit this year, they're, you know, less than $6,000. And then in 3 years, just over 6,000. I think we did 8 something for the last one.
That's what's budgeted, but we haven't received the final bill.
Yeah, I think last year's was.
It
right
should
around-
be
right
about
about
85, 86.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say.
This particular one is out of West Lynn. They do other districts. They do smaller districts, they do bigger districts. They seem to have a really good line of clients and stuff like that, so.
Didn't it list that in here somewhere?
Yeah, it actually
Yeah.
has, they have references. So for their, yeah, they do like the Clackamas Rural Fire, and then they do like Colton Water and Fire Districts and Lake Grove.
There it is, yeah.
Brad, did you have a chance to review this?
I have, and they look like they're a quality firm, although I shouldn't be involved.
Oh, yeah, no, I realize that, but,
But it looks good on paper.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, and it is actually a good idea to, I know that we've been with our current auditors for quite a long time,
20
and
years.
it is a good idea. I know that, you know, in my work with the city, we go out about every 3 to 5 years, I believe, for audit services, because it's always helpful to have a fresh pair of eyes looking at looking at the books, you know.
This company's actually been around for 63 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started in 1958.
So, our contract with the current auditors, is it just on a year-to-year basis?
We don't have an agreement. Every year it renews for that particular year through a management engagement letter.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Services.
So we're talking about engaging these new auditors for the current fiscal year, or the 2021-22 year, or the 22-23 year?
Be 2021, or 21.
2020, okay, 21-22. Well, I do think their cost is definitely reasonable. And we did send out, you said we sent out 6 RFPs?
5
5?
that I could.
RFPs?
Yeah, I looked at ones that focused, that did a lot of the different, you know, fire districts and stuff around our same kind of budget and stuff like that. And yeah, so I sent out 5 different ones, so. Yeah, I was hoping I'd get at least 1 or 2 more.
This was the only one, and what was the time frame?
These ones were, let's see, I got this in May, and we sent those out in February.
Okay, yeah, so there was plenty of time to
No,
respond.
I'm sorry, we sent those out in March, end of March.
End of March.
End of March. So,
So what's the pleasure of the board?
I think we can give a reasonable amount of time to let the other operations get back to us, if this is the only one.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Just off the top, what do we budget for this typically?
8,000.
It's been going up by at least 5% a year.
Yeah,
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 I mean, it's.
At least.
yeah.
And one thing I mentioned, only, they have to be registered with the state of Oregon as a municipal auditor in order to be able to do it.
Right.
So they've gone through the stress testing. So
Yeah, right, right.
Then this particular company meets all the qualifications that we need to make this happen.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I don't think that we necessarily have to make a decision on it tonight. I don't think we're
Right.
crunched for time, are we, Brad, for audit?
No, we have to have it done by December 31st and file with the state of Oregon.
So if you would like, we could reach back out to the other four and just get some kind of verbal,
right.
we don't intend to, because we're,
Too
like
busy.
everybody else, super busy, you know,
Mhm.
or try to, collect some kind of reasoning why we only received one back out of the 5 that we sent out.
Yeah, that might be kind of
And
helpful,
then-
and it would be, I think, good to have the full board here too, as
Yeah.
well.
And then next month, at the meeting, you could
Yeah.
decide on,
Yeah.
based off that information that we get
And
back.
do we want to ask for our current auditors?
If you tell me to, we will.
Well, I'm just wondering for, comparison purposes, but we have been with them for a very, very long time, and I think, in the grand scheme of things, that it certainly can't hurt us to have new auditors,
Yeah.
to take a fresh look at the books and so on.
Wouldn't hurt to call some of the references.
Right, yeah, if you wouldn't mind doing that.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I can, rather than waiting for the board packet, if I get any other ones in, I'll reach out to the other ones. If I get
Yeah.
them in, I'll just forward them straight to you,
Yeah,
so you have
then we
plenty of
can
time
have a
to
chance
review.
to review them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so let's put this on the agenda for the August meeting. Okay. Chief's report.
So not a lot in the last 12 days, but I did reach out to McKinsey and touch base with them. So they're going to send a proposal. We sent 2 drawings from back when we first started this project that incorporated 100% of the building's footprint. So we sent those back to them and said that, we don't want to do a project that's gonna have this massive amount of new construction like they had given us the last drawing. And that we want to incorporate the full footprint of the building so that we can maximize on the seismic grant as much as possible. So I talked about that. They are going to, because the only thing that was left in the original project was just to do the grant on our behalf. They've completed everything else that was outlined in that project for us. So they're going to draft up a proposal to extend that project, to add a new drawing and a new estimate based off that new drawing. So once they get that to me, I'll get it over to you for review, and then it can be a discussion at the workshop, and carry on to the next meeting if we get enough information in that timeframe to talk about what to do moving forward, if anything. So they're going to get that to me soon. Unfortunately, the day after I gave them the drawings and talked to them was the day that she's going on vacation until the end of this week. So I don't expect to get anything back this week, probably next week sometime.
Well, we haven't set any workshops date yet.
No.
dates yet.
So I should have something definitely by the time we get to the first workshop in August,
Yeah.
or at least our meeting in August.
Right.
I should definitely have something by then. Civil Service Committee, so Dakota Hartzell, who was one of the community members who submitted a letter of interest for being on the board has, after doing a little bit of question and answering back and forth, has agreed to be on our civil service committee. So that brings the rules out to them, make sure that they've got a week or two to review the rules in draft form, and then set up the initial meeting so that we can create the civil service commission for the district. And then during that meeting, they can approve the rules to take them out of draft form. And then from that point forward, there'll be a little bit of work on us as admin, but they should be good. We don't have any anticipated hiring processes or anything in the meantime, so they should be good till their next annual meeting, that they can set up whatever date they want to have for their annual meeting.
So now this group is not appointed by,
No.
okay, so we have nothing,
No.
okay, very good.
They are
An
independent commission that specifically oversees the civil service requirements, because we are a civil service district. And the only time that they engage is if there is a complaint that's filed regarding civil service. They meet to review the complaint, compare it to the rules, and determine if the district violated civil service or not. That is their main purpose, essentially. So most of it runs through me as the fire chief. I'm responsible for enforcing the rules that they set as a commission on the district. So, yeah. Grant funding, so we got the $35,000 from the fire marshal's office to hire seasonal staffing for wildland firefighting. Ryan Group will give their report. They usually give it to me the week before the normal board meetings. So you'll get 2 reports at the next meeting, one for July and then the one for August. Oregon Seismic is through McKinsey, so until there's a decision on what to do, they won't move forward on that.
Right.
The tribal grant that we did for hose, the award notification, or the award disbursement is July 27th, so we should know sometime before July 27th if we got that grant or not. That's a matching grant for fire hose as part of the engine continuity program project that we did. FEMA, I talked with our rep. I think I mentioned this at the last meeting. I talked with our rep, and the only thing that he knows is they have to have the funds going out by the end of September. So the announcements for who got the funds have to be coming out pretty soon. But he's heard nothing either. And he's the Region 10 rep. So, so hopefully we'll hear something soon, because
Yeah,
September
nothing
is
like
not
keeping
that
us
far
on pins and
away.
needles.
Yeah, so that's what we got out for grants right now. We've got about, altogether between all of these, we've got really close to about $1 million in grants pending right now for the district. So the action items, of course there'll be more once we do a goal setting session, but for the 3 that are left over, the Five Rivers water supply won't get anything done until taxes start coming in after November. Same with the jet dock. There will be no installation of the jet dock down at the port until after taxes come in. And then engine equipment continuity, other than grant funds, we won't do anything with that till afterwards as well. So those are going to sit there for a while until our monies start coming in. I don't want to use our networking capital, our rollover, to pay for these projects. So they're going to hold for a while. And other than that, that's really about it.
Okay, so we've got the precedence. The only thing that I can think of right offhand is union negotiations. The union has been very patient, but their contract, technically expired on the 1st of July. So we need to negotiate a new contract with them. They've said that they'll continue working under the existing they're not going to leave us. They're going to stay, and they'll work under the existing one until we get the new one approved. But we really need to get that process underway. And It's going to involve probably at least a couple of meetings. And we normally appoint, 2 board members to meet with the union and their representatives to go over what they have idea-wise as far as any amendments to our existing contract. And then the board as a whole approves the contract once it's been negotiated. So, it, like I said, is going to be at least a couple of meetings. I know the last time I was on the negotiating team, I think we did 4 or 5 meetings. But I think that might have been the initial contract.
That's the initial one.
Yeah, so this is just, going to be an update, so it shouldn't be quite so onerous. The meetings will probably take place during the day, so I don't know how that works with people's schedules. I doubt that Kevin is going to want to, he's out, he got his plate's pretty full already. So I'm wondering if I have any other willing victims here or volunteers. I'd be willing to be one of them. My schedule is somewhat flexible. But if either of you wish to,
Well, I pretty much have just given up the idea that I'm retiring since I moved up here, so. And way back when I had dark hair, I was a union rep for 4 years at the UAW, so I do have a union background. Quite interesting, but I would sit on the meetings.
okay. All right, so we have one, and Zach, how does your schedule, you're kind of busy, I think, aren't you?
I am. I have a rotating schedule, so it's kind of hit and miss, but I tend to have more days off in the week than most.
Okay. Okay. Well, do you want to try it on for size, and I can, back up as an alternate if you're not available or whatever, but,
I have no problem filling that role if that's something that you feel comfortable with wanting to do.
yeah, well, I think it would be, it'll give you guys a chance to take a look at our contract for one thing, and sounds like you've got background and experience. I don't know, Zach, have you negotiated contracts at all, or?
I have not, but I was around for the previous negotiation.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know how formal we have to be about this.
I think that, and really the union can speak on this because there's members here, but I think that they want to see this move forward quickly.
Yes, well, I
So-
definitely want to see it move forward quickly. It's been pending. We first started talking about it back in, I think it was March, so, but with.
And the
with-
current contract is,
The current contract actually expired June 30th. But they are going to continue working under the current contract until we get the new one negotiated. So, it's been one of those things that, they've been very patient with us, and I just as soon get it taken care of as soon as possible, so. I don't know if we need to move and second to appoint or anything. I think as long as we have 2 volunteers and.
I would, and it's that way, if it wasn't needed, it doesn't matter, but if it was needed, then it's.
Okay.
I think you guys did last time.
Yeah, okay, well, then I'm going to move to appoint John McCullough to the union negotiating group.
second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to appoint John. All those in favor? Aye. And then I'll move to appoint Zach to the negotiating group. Can I hear a second? Okay. It's been moved and seconded to appoint Zach to the negotiating group. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And like I said, I will volunteer to fill in if one or the other of you are not available for the meeting, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Would it be possible to get a copy of the current contract?
I think that
Yes.
would be very appropriate.
Yeah, if you hang around
and
after the
then
meeting for a few
hopefully-
minutes, we'll get it to you.
Hopefully, the union can get back to us with some tentative meeting dates and, work it out with you two.
I'm sure Joe can be contacted tonight and
Yeah, we'll
updated.
get-
Yeah,
we'll get on it.
yeah,
So,
very good.
okay.
Good. I'm glad that's going. So, do we have any questions from the citizens or viewing audience?
Nothing from the viewing audience.
Any questions from the citizens? Anything for good of the order? Okay, well, hearing nothing to come before the board, I will hear a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. We don't need